Hey, so we're doing a Love and Light series of divine messages from your starseed family. I have already set up the decks and, well, the cards that we're going to be using today. And it will be from starseed messages, universal messages. Also, we'll be using the starseed oracle deck, divine feathers, galactic heritage, and lightworker oracle decks. So I want to thank you all for coming in to this space to be able to receive messages from your guides, your team of the highest frequency of love and light at this time. They've been super excited to give these messages and super patient with me on retrieving the messages and making this video today. They've been asking me for some time to do this video, so I needed to make it an obligation to be a service to others and to our divine starseed family. They have been so amazing to me, and all right, so we're gonna just take all of these here and read them. We have reflection. See all aspects of yourself through the reflection of one who mirrors your hidden self. Transcend your mind's limitations and allow your soul's light to truly shine. Channel. You're a channel through which healing energy reaches the world. Also, we have intuition. Trust your intuition. It has been guiding you to the answers you seek. So those are those messages. Let's see if we can put this camera down a little bit. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then we're gonna pull. Let me put these up here for us. So we have a solar eclipse. They say on the 30th, get ready for all that energy. I know that everyone has been feeling that frequencies change so constantly in the past week or so. I personally have been dealing with a lot of emotions and purging out old conditionings and thought processes that no longer serve me. So here we go, these came out. We have, I find a deeper meaning in personal growth amid the discomfort. So here we go, guys. You can see that. In addition, it says, I create mindful moments through the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. I'm going to push this to the side here, and we're going to pull some more cards from the Starseed Oracle deck and see exactly what we have going on for us and what our teams love to share at this time. For me on my journey so far, I've been dealing with learning to protect my energy and learning to be more aware of all other people's energy and their intentions behind it. And learning to still hold a frequency of unconditional love despite the discomfort. Let me grab this card and get the hell out. Okay, so I've been trying to understand that fully and embrace it with an open heart. I'm going to also pull, I'm going to pull the rest of the cards before I go over everything else with you all today. If you don't know, my name is Dolores, and I have started my own spiritual business with my guides, and the name of the business is Evolving in Enchanted Ways, the same name as my channel, and my intention is to help people step more into their true soul's purpose by helping them tap in. So to the higher selves. I do spiritual mentoring. I do also give divine guidance readings in addition to shamanic healing work. I've had my business for 2 years, and I look forward to it growing abundantly and with the appropriate individuals and souls that are ready to do the work and step into their power and their truth more fluidly and frequently without any disruptions or old conditioning. So the willingness to allow that to fall apart, fall away is a big thing in my practices. So what else we have? This is from the Lightworker Oracle deck. Way too many, guys. They're like, you waited too long, Dolores. You waited. We've been waiting to get messages. Let's do one more, guys. One more card for the listeners. I need to hear the message. Take that. And then we're going to get into... Let me just move this aside. This is the Galactic Heritage deck here that I'll be using as well to retrieve some more messages from our divine and amazing Starseed family. Pretty huge deck here. I like working with these when I tap into the energies of the starseeds. This can also give me an idea of who is coming through for us. All right, so we're going to take, all right, we're just going to take all three of those. And those, okay. So, whew. So we have a lot of messages here. We're going to start with this feather. Flicker. New rhythms are coming into your life now. You are encouraged to trust and adapt. And I am being guided to work through this Galactic Heritage card before we move to the Starseed card. Let me read this flicker affirmation in here. The message. The divine flicker is the master drummer, bringing awareness to what now is growing, moving and beating a new path in your life. This will be present as a fluid and adaptable shift. Now is the time to examine your past patterns and experiences during these shifts. Do you resist following the natural rhythms of change? Self-limits are generally most of our formidable hurdles. Use the great gifts of flicker to help you through any resistance. Trust that the changes is a sign of positive movement forward. The energies is new rhythm, growth. The season is summer. The element is earth and air. Your colors are white, black, and red. And the affirmation is, I trust in the infinite rhythms of hold on, I'm going to read it again. I trust in the infinite rhythms and flow of life. I trust in the infinite rhythms of flow and life. One more time. I trust in the infinite rhythms of flow and life. So that is the affirmation from our guides, our higher self, our starseeds that wanted to come through. Now we're going to tap into these cards. The first card is number 15, Courageous, and we have the Lyrian energy coming through here. This is the present moment. We have Lyrian cards twice. We also have the Vegans, Pleiades, and the Atlanteans. So the Seta something dolphin energy. So which I apply and associate with the Atlanteans and Lemurians. So if that's something you resonate with it, take it. If it is not, then you can leave it behind. So let's tap into this energy of the courageousness. Number 15, the Lemurians, Lyra, Lyra. Okay. So. A symbol for the Lyran's royal family is the lion. Lions are often equated with courage. One of the most admirable qualities of lions is their immense courage in the face of adversity. The human race shares the quality as a part of our Lyrian's heritage. This is a great courage in the human heart. There is a great courage in the human heart. And this card asks you to tap into that courage, which goes as far as back as the Lyran's forefathers. Apply the strength in the areas of your life where you need it. If you can tap into it, act as if you can't tap into it, act as if you can. In doing so, your ancient Lyran memory will reawaken to give you the strength you need. This card may also be referring to not only your personal relationship with courage, but also what is needed for humans as a species in order to shift into a new paradigm. It cannot be done without courage, and your personal courage affects the whole. Look at the surrounding cards in your reading as well as your life circumstances to understand how this card applies to you. So the Lyrians are asking us to tap into their frequency so we can be more courageous in our truth, so we can speak more boldly and not feel like we have to downgrade or hide what is, the fire that is burning inside of us. So then we have 21, self-sacrifice. No more, because this is the past. We have the vacant energy. No more should we have to self-sacrifice, because we have the tools, the accessibility, the openness of many minds and souls that want to retrieve and receive the beautiful divinity and truth within every single being and hear it so they can be courageous as well and step into their power. So, the ancient Vegan spirit was one of selflessness. Vegans were known to give their lives for others as a gesture of extreme love and compassion in support of a community. However, it could sometimes be taken too far, as when self-sacrifice hurts the self so much the person cannot remain strong and healthy in order to continue to be a service. The deep karmic pattern that many people have. Examine your patterns of self-sacrifice and learn what level is appropriate and when it becomes self-sabotage. Take care of yourself as you would a precious gift, and then you can give more to others. All right, so often self-sacrifice can be a noble act that furthers spiritual development, but sometimes it can be an act that reflects a lack of self-worthiness, whereby sacrifice becomes a way to atone for perceived failings. If this card appears, it is encouraging you to look at your relationships look at your relationships to sacrifice and self-worth. In what parts of your life do you sacrifice your deepest needs? How are you furthering old unhealthy patterns by maintaining this behavior? Or can you sacrifice some of your ego's desires as a way to grow spiritually? The early spiritual aesthetics from Vega, or even those of the present day Earth, eventually have to evolve beyond self-sacrifice. Know that it is a powerful teaching tool, but it doesn't have to be the way of life. This card asks you to examine deeply your self-worth and how you sacrifice your integrity in this life. Confronting this painful knowledge can set you free. Confronting this painful knowledge can set you free. So just to share a little bit about self-sacrifice, I actually did a meditation about, how I was going through this process of not wanting to go back to an everyday job. And I felt like I was being forced to do it, self-sacrificing myself and my goals and my spirituality to be something in this human world, which wasn't suiting or filling for me. So after going into that meditation and that, you know, retrieving the information that I retrieved from my higher self and my guides and my Akashic records, I was able to see another aspect of it. So I was able to release what my ego was telling me based out of fear and based out of going back into old steps of conditioning and thinking that I was going to be pushing away my spirituality, but seeing it at a new aspect of me, being able to reach more souls, being able to embrace more energies and frequencies that are not at the vibrational frequency that I currently hold, which can potentially light up more of the world. So I see this as just a reminder of, you know, us sitting back and going into these aspects of ourselves, thinking about what is the bigger picture behind it. You know, how can we multitask and manage both of all of our realities, you know, without being derived from what our soul's calling is meant to be. So we have number 17, this is present, pushing the envelope. We have a Larian trait that humans share is the need to push the envelope, to force ourselves to go beyond limitations. That is what drove them and us to always grow more, beyond the laws of physics, beyond current technology, and beyond physical endurance. This can be a good quality when when a breakthrough is desperately needed. However, this trait can become obsessive and cause us to never rest and always push ourselves to exhaustion. This is most likely have been a karmic pattern of yours for many lifetimes. Now it's time to let go. Your self-care is more important than pushing the envelope. So while this card at times can be admirable qualities, it can also severely hamper our evolution and keep us stuck in action driven by ego. When we are stuck in these ego-driven tendencies, it becomes impossible to connect to our higher nature and evolve beyond the limitations of ego. On the other hand, this card may be giving you a message to push yourself harder when you are afraid. Thus, actions of acting as encouragement for you. Do you tend to give up on your goals too easily? If so, this card may be encouraging you to focus and keep going. It may be also giving you a message that you can learn and grow quite a bit by going beyond your perceived limitations. Only by looking at the surrounding cards, as well as honestly within yourself, you can assert the meaning of the enigmatic card and apply it into your life. The major lesson for the Larians during this phase of their development, when to push harder and when to let go. Ultimately, when faced with species evolution, it is a delicate balance. Eventually, however, consciousness transcends happens at the point of surrender. This is a lesson Earth humans are currently facing on their personal and planetary levels. And then we have 40, stubbornness, past Pallades. So number 40. This message relates to having a fixed idea on how things should be and trying to force realities to fix the picture. This was a strong trait in the ancient Palladians culture, which created many problems for their civilization. Some of us still carry the habitual pattern. Take a look at the situation you want to change. Be honest and see if you were trying to force a reality that doesn't exist in the now. Be truthful. In order to make change, we must fully accept and relax with the situation as it is. Only then will things change in a natural way. So, the Palladians were stunned and traumatized but it was an experience they needed to grow up as a species and drop their arrogance. From their Larian forefathers, they left the planet a lifeless shell floating in space to always remind them to of their their own ignorance, excuse me. If this card comes up in your reading, look around the surrounding cards. It may be about a connection that you have at this time in Palladian history, or it's simply a warning about becoming attached to your beliefs about how things should be in reality, and a stubborn drive to change them accordingly to what you feel is right. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to kick that. So pretty much it goes back onto my little example of what I was sharing about how I was kind of resisting the change of going back to the everyday work life and being able to manage, and not seeing the bigger picture behind it. And, pushing the envelope because of the possibilities and the people that I'm able to interact with in an average day work surrounding. Then we have 89, living in the now. Oh, 85. Oh, excuse me, 85. I don't know where I got 89. Somebody, might be a message for somebody there. Dolphin consciousness, more evolved than humans, have the capacity to be rooted in the present moment and to live fully there. This explains their playful nature and how interactions with them bring humans into balance. As the human species and brain evolve, we will need to develop this skill as well. In doing so, we free ourselves from attachments of the past and worries of the future to create an abundance of energy for the now moment. This creates more joy and profound feelings of connectedness to the universe. Everyday focus on your breath keep attention rooted there. Now is all that exists. So it's funny that I pulled these cards because I originally tried to that card especially, because when I tried to do the live from my computer, my camera wasn't working. So the message was 11 Light Series from your Starseed family. What was it? Freakers. Trust something in abundance. So it's kind of tied into this final message from the Galactic Heritage deck and your sentient family. I don't know why I laughed like that. Okay, all right. It may mean that you have a strong dolphin connection that wishes to be acknowledged. It may also mean that you are being asked to embrace the qualities of living in the now as a way to let go of pains of the past or worries about the future. A great way to practice this is to simply sit quiet and focus on your breath. If your mind wanders, just refocus into the breath. This is the essential skill of navigating the coming changes in Earth's reality. Being practical. Oh, my stomach growling. Being practical now. Have patience. The changes are cumulatively and require focus and commitment. But you will soon notice things shifting in your reality because you have shifted. So they're also acknowledging the work that you have done on a personal and on a physical and outer level. So they're commending you as well of all the hard work and the sacrifices and not sacrificing, but the surrender you have done to be able to be at this point in your life. It may not always be all, roses and petals and diamonds and gold at this current time, but they're clearly saying here that there is a shift that is happening in this moment. But so don't get discouraged or discard. Don't be... how do I phrase it? Don't be in a lower vibrational frequency that is going to halt your blessings, okay? So that is their messages. And then we have the Starseed Oracle. All paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition. Turn your gaze within. So, and then we have lifting the veil, questioning everything. Anything that is unaligned must go. And then we have karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. So, all paths lead home. Let's read that one. Okay. It is normal to look at the external world for answers and guidance. What's revolutionary is turning your gaze inward. You're being called to source your guidance from within, to study the terrain of your inner landscape, to develop a reliable relationship with your soul. The more time you spend connecting with your soul, the deeper the connection will become. The challenge for empaths is to stay connected without cutting off from the world. The best way to do so is to develop a daily practice that helps you to keep checking in, to draw on the wisdom within, and let that be the authority in your life. If this card appears, you may be called to develop or switch up your spiritual practices, to get in the habit of turning your gaze within, getting centered for the day before consuming anything from the outside world, to start from a feeling of at-homeness, and throughout each day to find simple ways to keep coming home. This doesn't mean switching off from the realities of today's world, which need as many conscious people as possible living with their eyes wide open. Rather, it's a call to start your day from a place of connectedness, grace, and devotion. So when you go out into the world and when you let the world in, you do it from a place and from an unshakable state of being. A state where you draw your strength, authority, and guidance from a place deep, deep within. So for me, some of the practices that I have is meditation. I also wake up every morning in gratitude to a new day. So I look out the window and I say good morning to the sun, to the trees, to Creator, to Gaia, and to all of my divine team. And then I love to listen to music, so I listen to music and do a little dance. Today I did some breath work outside, some yogi breath work, and then I did 20 minutes of yoga to get my day started before I stepped out of the house or off of the premises to interact with the everyday reality and everyday people. So my vibration was super beautiful, super high. There was even a point when I was crying during my breath work because I felt like I was giving my body what it deserved and was honoring myself in the full essence of being present and making time for me and my sacredness and my divinity and the precious gem that I am. That is very important to realize who you are, what you are, and how important you are in the role that you play in just waking up every morning on this physical plane. You have a big role. You don't know how many people you're going to interact with, how many souls you're going to touch. So I try to wake up every day and smile, sing, and be grateful, and just know that no matter what circumstances surround my physical reality, it is divinely guided and I am highly protected, and there is nothing that I cannot get through or overcome. So we have lifting the veil. Things aren't always as they seem. This era is one of uncovering mistruths so we can remember ancient truths. Everything is a state of recall and realignment. Anything that isn't in harmony with the planet will not survive. This goes for society and the world at large, as well as our own lives. If you pull this card, you're being called to energetically scan your life for things that no longer are a vibrational match for who you are and how you've grown. To dismantle the systems and ways of being the once served. To dismantle the systems and ways of being that once served you and others but no longer do. Some starseeds are here to lift the veil between the seen and unseen worlds, to shine a light on things that are inauthentic or unaligned with the survival and well-being of Earth, to stand for and protect those who don't have a voice, to look deeper and question everything that previous generations did not. Some starseeds cannot tolerate things that aren't congruent. They are here to bring society and humanity back to harmony with the planet and the creator at large. If we tolerate things in our lives that aren't aligned and congruent with it, we add to the misalignment of the planet. You are being called to trust yourself. Notice that what is out of alignment and take baby steps required to bring back into harmony. There's no easy feat, but it will be worthwhile, both individually and for the planetary and for the planet. And then we have karmic relationships. Did I show you guys this card? I just want to show you. And then we have karmic relationships. The constellations Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and even unity. Some people believe that many starseeds who were part of the cosmic history are incarnated on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion's time. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we do not open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we have reacted because of our own woundings and find mutual ground. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is further to grow apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow most. How can you soften your heart and drop your defense enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? So that is from the Starseed Oracle. I want to read these out. Hold on. Then we have Lightworker Oracle. We have the Divine Wisdom of the Divine Feminine. Yes, look at that. Look at those beautiful colors. That fire, that passion, that grace and beauty. And then we have that was number 9, and we have number 19, the invitation to connect, yes, to the cosmos, to that cosmic being that you are. All the source of them. I see Lemurian energy in this as well. So let me read number 9. Divine feminine wisdom empowers you to grow into your vision, your dreams, and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Perhaps you envisioned a very different life for yourself and than what you're experiencing now. This wisdom reminds you that you can experience even the most extraordinary dreams as reality if you are willing to grow into what you desire, to become what you seek. Surrender any plans about how you can best manifest your dreams and instead allow life to guide and nourish you through the experiences each day. The universe supports your divine destiny and is helping you become all you're meant to be. When the wisdom of the divine feminine reaches for you, the message is clear. You're in the process of becoming more of heaven on earth. Sometimes there are growing pains alongside the joys such growth brings. You may feel concerned. Thinking about pain is an indication that you are failing in some way. You may judge your suffering as a sign that you are not operating at a high enough frequency. Yet, how many spiritual masters upon this planet have endured great suffering, as well as experienced tremendous love and joy in the fulfillment of their divine destiny? Growing pains are just part of the feminine path of creation, of breaking through what has become too small for you. There is a joy in the eventual freedom, but the act of breaking through can feel painful at times. When things are different or feel and you're feeling a little doubt, when you feel the need to do something that scares you or challenges you at the deepest of your being, the depths of your being, you are experiencing growing pains. They will pass and you will benefit from the growth. However, you need to know that this difficulty in your life. I don't know that. Okay, the divine is very, very much with you, encouraging you, believing in you so much that you will deliver a tough lesson. That it will deliver a tough lesson. You can handle it for however long it needs to continue. And that won't be forever. This oracle brings a message about how much the divine feminine loves you and wants to help you grow with the least struggle and the most peace. If you don't listen to her, instead choosing to believe in fear, you might be terrified of your growing pains. You won't be sure if they will ever end. You may doubt your ability to turn adversity into triumph. You may lose faith instead of trusting the life has your best interests at heart, and that you are capable of meeting any challenges that arise. Instead of trusting, you may believe that the world isn't safe. This can keep you paralyzed in self-defeating, self-harming patterns. While these may give you a temporary familiar satisfaction, ultimately, these patterns mean that you will continue to struggle and suffer under the weight of addiction and emotional pain. You deserve so much better than that. The divine feminine speaks to you now and promises that if you are willing to show up to your life each day and trusting in the circumstances before you, she will guide you into the most beautiful divine destiny. It is safe to trust her. She wants for you only the best and most beautiful life journey, one perfectly suited for all that you are and all that you can be. Your heart beats in perfect rhythm with the heart of love at the center of the universe. Trust your heart and trust life. All is progressing beautifully. And as you are guided ever deeper into your divine fulfillment, the invocation, I call upon the wisdom of the divine feminine, and I ask for the blessings of nurturing, development, evolution, and growth into the best and most beautiful divine destiny for me. Through her love and grace, I am guided, protected, and assisted to become all that I can be. With gratitude and trust in the flow of my life, I relax and take the journey. As I do so, I help to bring calm and consciousness to the world for the greater good. So be it. So that is from the divine feminine. So beautiful. All right, and then we have number 19, the last message. Is an invitation to connect. Love exists throughout our universe. Many loving beings that do not belong to the human race exist in the world beyond the earthly realms. Among these are those who are aware of spiritual plummet of humanity and are willing and able to help us move forward. Unlike those who close their minds because of their fear of the unknown, you have an open mind and an open, receptive heart. Beings from other worlds recognize you as a receptive channel for the unconditional loving assistance in the world. Oh my God, I just love this ending message. You will both benefit from this individual and help the planet. You will both benefit from this individually and help the planet. So you are being offered an invitation to connect. There are many dimensions to existence. For those who are developing evolved sensory perceptions, the sense will not be restricted to being impressed upon the physical dimension. There are higher dimensions that the psyche or emotional nature can recognize, and even more redefined dimensions that the higher mind can recognize. Beyond that, there are dimensions that the mind, even the most expansive state, cannot grasp, but the spirit knows to be real. The more your sensitivity to stubble energy evolves, the more aware you become of these worlds beyond this world. For some, this will be easy to accept and will inspire interest in learning more. Others will be tentative about exploring connections with non-earthly beings. Great peace can grow in the heart for those who are unafraid, who are open to the idea of beings that are aware of humanity but not human themselves, who want to help humanity evolve and help the spiritual power to be able to do so, and have the spiritual power to be able to do so. No matter how mixed up and consumed by darkness this world may seem at times, there are so many powers of light working to see the earth and humanity through its most interesting time. To see us into the new age of spiritual enlightenment. It is all part of the divine experiment of life. There are many forces invested in the successful and loving evolution of humanity. If you have been contemplating life beyond the earth, perhaps talking to the stars or gazing wistfully at other planets, if you have been intrigued by the mysterious codes of light and sound, you are embedded in crop circles, or simply have a feeling that you would like to work with beings who are more spiritually evolved than humanity at present, then you are being given a clear message with this oracle. There are beings in other worlds that are very aware of your open love and attitude and the work you are doing. They are actively responding to you to your thoughts and feelings. Since we live in a free will zone on Earth, we must extend an invitation to receive their assistance. Because you are unafraid and resonate from a place of peaceful curiosity and high-level awareness, you are capable of issuing the needed invitation to those that can assist humanity from a place of unconditional love. Of course, there are forces in broader universes, just as there are forces in the natural world here on Earth that would not be so helpful to triumph of love on this planet. Therefore, we must issue our invitation to the forces of light with a peaceful heart and a wise mind. The invocation below has been carefully crafted to obtain that purpose. You are asked to use it whenever you feel you need to do so, knowing that you are a part of a bridge between humanity and other loving worlds that want to assist life on Earth. They thank you now and offer their blessings to you, to life on Earth in all ways possible. The invocation is, and I was saying both of these invocations with the acknowledgement and acceptance to allow these energies to come into my auric field and into my being now. The invocation is, as a member of the human race, through my own free will and for the greatest good, I call upon all beings that resonate with the qualities of unconditional love and wish to assist humanity and Earth to evolve on the path of divine love. I ask for the unconditional loving ascended masters that serve Christ consciousness to be the gateway through which permission is confirmed for these beings to enter Earth's field and assist humanity according to divine will, grace, and love. May all beings be happy and free. So be it. So those are your beautiful divine messages from your Starseed family, and we give them much gratitude, love, and appreciation. And I can't even, my mouth is baffled right now, to their devotion to committing to help mankind and Gaia evolve in a place which is much more fluid and high vibrational for all beings to interact frequently and on new paradigms. So I send much gratitude, love for whoever hears this message, and blessings on your journey. Find your strength, your joy, and your soul's truth, and may it be continually joyous for you with the least amount of resistance, full of grace and divine protection. Namaste.